happy Wind Down Wednesday. I am my Sistah Scifi, CEO and founder of Sistah Scifi. And yeah, it is Wednesday, July 20th. I can't believe it's already the end of July. Next week will be our last Wind Down Wednesday of July. I feel like it was only our second one. So before I get into all that, how has your Wednesday been? Tell me how you're doing, what you're excited about this week. A question I tend to, hey DJ Art King, how are you? I don't know if that's a hey hand raise. Oh my God, hey Tony, how are you? Where in the world are you? I know you're someplace great. I know I owe you an email. I see all your email list blasts and you're always doing magical, amazing things. So, it's good to see a shout out from you. Hey Tony Sips and Reads. Ooh, San Paulo, I'm not even jealous, but maybe just a little bit. I need to come on a trip with you one day, and we need to talk about Ghana. So all those good things, but I'm excited for you, and I love the 5 countries for the 5-year anniversary. It's so great. If y'all don't know about Cultures Mag, follow the account. Now they're always oh, great. DJ Queen, that was a way. That's awesome. That's good to know. But yeah, so I love Cultures Mag. It's for all third culture kids. So if you're mixed race, first generation, did I say something else? 5 continents for the 5-year anniversary. Did I say something else? I'm sorry. I can be a bit dyslexic. Yay! Thank you for liking the earrings. These are popular. So yeah. Oh, y'all are so engaged today. This makes me so happy because sometimes I look at the chat and my standing desk is doing something weird that I've been trying to fix. Aw, thank you, Donnie. You're awesome too. I'm just trying to keep up. I'm so excited about all the positive affirmation today. I got a rejection yesterday and I got the rejection and I just went to bed. Well, I complained about it to a friend and then I went to bed. So I really needed all this positive affirmation. And if my adjusting desk drops during the live, I'll just let it drop. So today, oh yeah, here they are. Girl, That's Scary. So they're joining us. I'm so excited. They're going to introduce themselves. But if y'all watched Horror Noir, A Century of Black Horror, y'all will remember that there was a from Girls That's Scary, and they're here with us today. So I just invited them to the live, so they will be joining us in a second to discuss Blacklisted Inc. So that's what they read for this. In full disclosure, I haven't read the book, but this will still be a great discussion. And then we'll get to learn more about the podcast and discuss about Horror Noir. Maybe they've had some sneak peeks about the upcoming Jordan Peele movie, Nope, which comes to theaters this Friday. If you are like Tannery Do and already watched it, let a sister know. Is it worth the watch? Let me know in the chat if you didn't get the invitation to join on camera, which you should have. Hey Angela, how are you? Okay, I guess y'all didn't get it. Nope, that's not y'all. Okay. Yay. Yay! I'm so glad you got your order. Hey!
Hi. Hey, everybody. So, Jazz and I are in 2 separate spaces. Is there any way we can add her in as well?
Yes, we can. So wherever is Jazz on watching the Instagram live?
She's Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay. I was like, who's this other? Thank you. Boom.
She praised me.
So I'll yeah. So I'll be because I saw that because sometimes I get random requests. I'm like, who is this person? Hey, they gave me this
Hello.
Yay! Okay, so I'm super excited. So yeah, let's start with the round. I already introduced myself. This is one of the weeks where I remember to introduce myself. So yeah, introduce yourself. Yeah, I'm excited to have you here.
Yeehaw. All right. Well, hi guys. I am Jazz, aka the 40-ounce connoisseur, one half of Girl That's Scary. And I am a horror fan, educator, avid reader, and preparing for the pending zombie apocalypse.
Yes, and I'm here for reader versus reader because I mean everybody's a reader, but who's a reader? So I'm here for it.
I'm cracking up. Hey everybody, I'm Kat or Cat Daddy, the other half of Girl That's Scary. I too am preparing for the pending zombie apocalypse, but more so just being ready to hunker down and just count the days because it's over. I am so excited to talk about all the things with y'all today.
Yay! Okay, so that's a good place to start. So I have a friend we talk about preparation for the panty zombie apocalypse. And my plan, I've watched too much of The Walking Dead. I'm like, my plan is to die season one. Like, I ain't trying to fuck with no zombies. I ain't trying to fuck with no like Negans, like nothing. I probably shouldn't also said that often, but I met some people. I was like, oh, maybe this person is on my zombie apocalypse plan. What is y'all's planning for the panty zombie apocalypse?
You got a pretty good plan because I do not plan to survive. First of all, let's not play ourselves. Everybody like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. First of all, most of us cannot run a mile straight. Them zombies do not get tired. Okay, especially if we get running zombies, girl. That's. I mean, if we're getting running zombies, I'm just going to lock my doors and pretend I'm not there. I'm gonna close my eyes and be invisible. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just once I run out of food, I'm gonna just starve to death like that little skinny zombie they find in the attic one time. That's gonna be me. Also,
Thank you for keeping it. Ah,
that's the plan.
that's
Like I just,
awesome.
what are you gonna do? Like, because ultimately we run. The zombies are gonna keep coming, and it's not just the zombies we have to fear. It's everyone else. It's what
It's
happens when
everywhere
society
else.
collapses.
Yeah, and like I'm like people who are optimistic about the zombie thing. They haven't watched The Walking Dead for 10 years. I was like, no, The Walking Dead has killed all hope. The Walking Dead, all the spin-offs. I'm just like, yeah, I'm trying to be out in season one. So okay, we're aligned. We're alignment. Okay, so tell me more about the podcast because I love horror. The only thing I love more than horror is sci-fi. And I love Black culture. So tell me about Girl That's Scary.
All right, here we
Oh, you
go.
got
Oh, wait, okay. I don't know because we
no.
both
Go
look at
ahead,
each
girl.
other
Because
like
I was looking
idiots.
at you and I was
We
like,
just
"What?"
like, okay. Well, Kathleen and I have been friends for about 10 years now, and we are both very big horror fans. And in our friend group, we are some of the bigger horror fans. We do have some horror friends spread across our friend group, but we also. I was on a podcast before called The Link Up, and Kat was literally the intro, like saying, "Hey, girl, it's the Link Up." So, if y'all hear her voice, she has a great voice for radio. She has a very distinct, wonderful voice. It's beautiful. So after the link up stopped, and we're still friends, we just was like girl schedules. But we was like, Cap was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in this chain. You want to do this podcast because I ain't doing the solo podcast by myself, which I understand because you're just talking to yourself into the void for like an hour. Maybe it's people listening, maybe not. We don't know. And I was like, yeah. And then that's an excuse for me to watch scary movies all the time, even ones that I kind of end up not liking. It's something new. So I love when things are scary, spooky, anything that's sci-fi, because sci-fi is horror to me. If the aliens come and beat our ass, listen, that's just as scary if the zombies come. Maybe it's scarier because they got technology and the zombies don't. I don't know. But yeah, now we've been here with the episode for the past, it's going on 3 years. Every
Oh
Thursday. We
my
have not skipped a
god!
Thursday. Sometimes you get more than one episode a week. You're in here.
Ooh, that is so impressive. Yay.
My brain.
But it's such a good time. I'm having so much fun. I'm so happy Jazz decided to talk with me every week so we can just talk to each other, and of course with like a random spontaneous friend or two or five. But yeah, no, because I like for real, shout out to people who have Dolo podcasts. I think that is so me personally, it's so difficult because I'm like, damn, who I'm going to talk to? Like, Are people gonna rock with me? And I really feel like shout out to you for just really standing in your truth and just like saying, you know, forget it. Like I'm gonna just be out here and we just gonna go with it. So that's tight. But I could not. So shout out to Jazz because I don't know what I'm gonna do without her. So that's all I got.
Oh, so wait, what was the start of y'all's friendship? So you said 10 years, so y'all were on the pre-kindergarten playground because y'all look like 10 and 12, like y'all look super young.
Oh, gas me up, girl. Okay, no. So we're both definitely in the 30 and over club card. And that's saying a lot / a little about us. But so backing up, all of my friends married each other. So that's really where the sentence starts. Seriously. And so I used to date this guy, and then he took me, I met all of his friends. And then one of his friends, like, I'm gonna be your friend. And it happens to be Jasmine's best friend that they kind of like grew up with each other in Richmond. And then Jazzmin, she introduced me to Jazzmin, and Jazz was like, well, I'm just assimilating, like we all friends. And I said, okay, that's tight. So then we all became friends, and that's pretty much just been our lives. Like Jazz pulls up, she's like, I'm about to be your friend because we friends. And clearly, if this person mess with you, that means that you cool because I don't mess with such people. So yeah, like that's pretty much been our friendship. Also, our friendship is blood in, blood out. Like we look at you and then we give you hearts, and then we're like, that's it. So we're friends, right?
Yeah, and if you decide, if you think you're not going to be friends with me, I'm going to pull up to your house and we're going to fight about it because we are friends. We're friends forever.
The scary friends.
To the end, friend, just like child's play.
The Scorpio in me like appreciates that so much. I was talking to somebody about my best friend, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna make her your best friend whether she likes it or not." I was like, "We already committed to this. I mean, granted, it was decades ago, but we committed. That's for life, right?" So I get it. I'm here for it. So yeah, every Thursday. So, girl, that's scary. Everywhere where you can listen to podcasts, at least every Thursday, and sometimes more often.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite? I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of, but I'm so excited about this podcast because creating a podcast feels really daunting to me. Yay, Jay is also a Scorpio. Jay the Fembot. That's a very Scorpio handle. So going back to the podcast, like, what is the creation process? Like, who chooses the topic? What's y'all's cadence? Yeah, all the good stuff.
Okay.
What is the process of creation?
Well, the best process is borderline chaos, but not all chaos. We don't announce what we're gonna drop because we don't really know and we don't want to stress ourselves out. So we kind of look at the months and we're like, you know what, you want to cover this? Okay. And then we try not to stack too many heavy, like say we're doing, I don't know, Friday the 13th. There's like 8-9 movies in there. You don't want to put Friday the 13th and then do Nightmare on Elm Street and then think you about to do Walking Dead. When are you going to watch all of this? It's not going to work. So
right.
It's kind of based on balance. So it's like, because some people do themes or they do one movie. Sometimes we do a subgenre. We like to mix it up because it keeps it fresh. So it's like, oh, we do a subgenre. Oh, we'll do this whole franchise. Oh, we'll do a double feature or something like that and kind of mix up what we're coming out with. So it's almost like Forrest Gump said, I know that movie is chaotic, but life is literally like a box of chocolates. You don't know if you are getting a solid dark chocolate. You don't know if you're getting a jank with the almonds in it. It could be coconuts when you bite into this week's episode. I don't really know. We're here. Cat's like, no, please not the coconuts.
Not coconut. Ew, it tastes like spit. It's gross.
Oh, wait, you don't like them? Okay, well,
it's okay. I know you're gonna fight me. It's all right.
No, I'm not gonna fight you. I don't like chocolates, so we all got our things. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I understand.
But yeah, we kind of just, once we pick the topics and we watch what we're gonna watch, there's a few setups. So when we first started, we were just recording on the floor. Like we just literally was on the floor with a microphone, and then eventually the microphone turned into us talking into the phone because the phone was better than the actual microphone quality.
Okay.
So surprisingly, if you're out there and you want to start a podcast, you literally can take like a phone. A lot of people have iPhones or whatever kind of phones you have, and sit on the floor and hit anchor and be like, yeah, record, and it records you. That's it. One of our friends made the song for us. They were like, hey, here's the song, but you can make free songs on the internet, or they have free sounds that you can kind of use to string together some kind of like intro or whatever. I'm like, wow, it's not even that hard. Once you just start throwing these sounds together, and Audacity is free. Okay, Audacity is free. I've been using it since college because I'm a language major. I teach Spanish, so I had to used to turn in my assignments like verbally. So you have to speak to the thing
Okay.
and be like, all right, I've answered the prompt in Spanish. Here you go. I've turned it in. So I'm like, okay. Like we just record and we kind of shoot the shit. We don't. There's no like outline. There is no specific. Sometimes we might have a question or two, but we rarely go like beat by beat. We're just like, so I watched this movie. Woo! What's up? And then we just talk until the conversation kind of naturally dies on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like how a feeling.
Oh, okay. I mean that makes sense. That like feels like the process of creation, right? Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And then, okay, Kat, it was Kat. You had an event before this. Are you okay? Was it a rush? Did you feel
Oh, I'm
like
fine.
you
It's lit.
okay?
Listen, I'm trying to move closer to the light because I'm at the work retreat. So, trying to be Chopper Sue Cat and also Girl That's Scary Cat at the same time. We just had dinner. I'm about 4 drinks in. So that was fun. I was drinking my executive director today. So that's my life. So, woo, y'all.
She like, I feel toasty. Yay, that's awesome. And I'm drinking. Sometimes I forget to have a drink, but today this is actually it's water with frozen peaches and frozen blueberries. It looks like a really beautiful drink, but it's really just water.
It looks delicious.
So that's my and it's hydrating.
That's the main thing. I love some water.
I've got water over here. Hydration.
There's so much I want to talk to y'all about, but what the burning hat? Are y'all gonna watch Nope? Have y'all watched Nope? What do y'all think of the trailers? What do y'all think it's gonna be about? All the things. I mean, besides aliens.
Okay, so basically what you said is all I know about the film. I did not watch the trailer. I watched one of the really short ones and cut it all the way off because I was like, nope, I feel like I'm seeing too much. Literally, nope. I am going to see it, not in theaters. I have not been to a movie theater since before the panties started beating us down every day. And it's not even just like COVID. It's like, you never know what you can get in a movie theater. Don't matter how clean it is. Somebody might have bed bugs. I don't know. So I'm a little nervous to go. Yep, see, I'm a little nervous to go in there. So I'm gonna just wait till they're streaming at home. It's gonna hit the home streets real quick. And when I do, I am so excited to tell y'all. Wish me luck, evading all the spoilers.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna try to go tomorrow. There's a showing at my nearby theater at 4:30. That is the first showing because I feel like it's Thursday. Some people still at work. So they could be at work and I'm going to just go see it because I don't know about y'all and I don't need to tell y'all how close. But if y'all know where Iverson Mall is, that is, if you are familiar in the DMV, most people in the DMV know where Iverson Mall is. That is the theater. That is the theater near Iverson Mall that I'm going to. Iverson Mall is known for their cookies, their delicious cookies, and their shenanigans. It's not still $5. It's $6 now. They went on inflation.
Okay,
It's
that's
$5.99
fine.
now. It used to be a $5
Okay,
theater,
that's
so you
okay.
can see the new movies for $5, but now it's $6. Still, I'll take $6. That's why I go $6. I'm going.
Right. No, heard. So yeah, my plan was to see it on Friday. As much as high as my COVID anxiety was, some friends convinced me to go to movie theaters. So I've gone to a couple of theaters and movies. But now I have COVID, so I will be staying my behind at home. Yeah. But for people watching in the chats, let us know if you're watching Nope and we're gonna go see it. Okay, so Nope. Let us know. I'll follow y'all. I'll listen to the podcast to see what y'all think. And when I watch and listen to that, I'll be ready for all the spoilers. Man, all the interpretation, all that good stuff. And yeah. And then I'm looking to see what people see if they're gonna watch it and where they're gonna watch it. So Black was the ink. Black was the ink.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What did y'all think? Oh, and I'm sure I'm really hoping that y'all enjoyed it. But creation is hard. And Sistah Sci-Fi stands for Black creators. So constructive feedback. I don't like to tear anyone down. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. First, when I first started reading, I was like, oh, this is YA, like for young adults. So already
Yes.
came in with the mindset that this would be something my students would read, you know? And I'm like, okay, so for me, it's still, overall, the story-wise is still really good. It really, it was like a jumpstart point for students who might be interested in Octavia Butler later. So if you're interested in Kindred, it gave like, it's not Kindred, but the basis of traveling back and forth to see things in comparison to where you are now, especially as a Black person, it really gave that insight. And I think that would be really cool for students to read, because even me reading, like, the language, again, was, young adult. But however, when we start getting into those history lessons, I was like, dang, I don't know some of these names. I got to open the Google. Wait a minute. There's stuff that I didn't, even though I'm older, I went through the same school system that child is the character in the book, Malcolm, went through. And it's like, they don't teach you any of this stuff. I've never heard of these names. Reconstruction-era is like a 10-page chapter, and I ain't seen no Black person on none of the pages when I read it. So I was like, okay, this is interesting in the point that kids are going to learn things. There's kids who start off like them. It's a Black boy as the protagonist off the front. I love that, because I wonder if there's any other stories, like maybe Jake Livingston. I think that book, that the taking of Jake Livingston, there's a Black boy. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't really see enough like Black male characters, young Black male characters, as the lead protagonists in stories that I've read. So I am interested to tap into more books like that, because that was refreshing. But again, I really enjoy how the story went, and it's like you go from being helpless or not knowing how to do stuff, or you find this boy who's finding his voice and finding what he can do, and you see him change, like, I don't want to be here, man, to I'm about to do this, that, and the third. Look, it's about freedom. I was like, okay. I mean, I kind of liked his the way his journey went, because it is a bit realistic, because he saw so much, and then he had so much insight. Then he had a little trip to the past that gave him a little bit more insight. But it put things in perspective to him, and it might put things in perspective for young readers who needed that history lesson to understand that, dang, this stuff's a little messed up. Wait a minute, it's not. Hold on. But
I agree.
I love that. Go ahead, Kat.
Oh, I was just saying, I agree. Like everything Jazz said with an exclamation point. I definitely liked how it had, like, after the epilogue, there was a whole section for those who wanted to just continue, like, further learning if they didn't get a chance to hit that Google machine, where you get that insight on, like, the different people, like, especially the major events outside of the major historical figures that they cover, or the character Malcolm experiences as he's, going through the things that he's going through. So I felt like that was really cool. Like, I am a note taker in the margins type of person. So my stickies went heavy to work every time. It was like, oh, this is a major thing. And like Jazz said, like, there were things that occurred that I didn't even know about. So it prompted me to go back and, like, let me just research this historical event. Once again, all the things around not learning certain stuff in public school. And I'm actually a Washingtonian. So I would say the only thing, like, even with constructive criticism, I was just like, ooh, where's the DC language? Like, that was just like little small stuff like that. But other than that, like, I love the story. I felt like it was relatable. I felt like if I was tasked to read a story like this in middle school or high school, I would have enjoyed it. And going through DCPS system, like, they gave us books. I forgot, it was some book that I was talking to Jazz about a student who went to Brown, who happened to go to Ballou, and he was a real guy, and following that story and how he went to MIT and all that jazz. So I really like being able to have my hands on literature that's relatable just across the board. Like, even if you're a little bit older, you can still walk with this child's story, especially with the fact that he getting sent away because in summer, like, he was shaky on the straw. Like, ooh.
He didn't do nothing,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
It wasn't even his fault. He was just playing a little basketball, shooting a little hoops like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and got sent down to another state. Dang.
Yeah, so thank you for reading it, right? That, and then thank you for your interpretation of it. So the author Michelle Cole and I have been discussing it for a while. And I think I can sit with stories about zombies and aliens and vampires all day. But horror, going back to the antebellum South, like, shuts something down to me, which I have to sit with because I'm a first generationer. So it's like, I'm not really excited. And then she's like, oh yeah, some people says it reminds them of Kindred. And Kindred was like the hardest Octavia Butler book for me to read by like a mile, right? So I was just like, I'm not trying to do this to myself again. but I definitely love history that opens the door to deepen my. I definitely love fiction that opens the door to deepen my understanding of history. Right, so that's a really compelling angle for me. So thank you for bringing that up and highlighting that. It's like, oh yeah, that's super fascinating. So yeah, and then exploring the part that even though it's a YA book, that it's still there's still resonance for non-YA readers.
Yes,
So
definitely. Especially because, like I said, the only thing that really separates it into the YA category is just the language. Because I'm old. Of course, I'm using older, stuffy language because I am old. Like, clearly, not old, but I'm older. I'm not 13. So, the way that the sentences flow or how they give you quite a bit, where I wouldn't need as much clues or I wouldn't need Malcolm to think it out loud. But someone, and this is something we do in the education system, or at least in my county, where you do think aloud, where kids don't always know how to think yet. They need to learn how to hear the thought out loud and play it back to themselves and reflect on it. So it's good that Malcolm has all these things. Well, I didn't think that. Well, it's not like that. You hear his thoughts out loud. And for me, as an adult, I don't really need the thoughts out because I'm kind of piecing things together. But for a teenager who is not up to the point where they're just piecing random evidence from 400 pages ago or 35 pages ago, they're like, oh, okay, that's a reminder for them, especially I feel like teenagers can, and this not for, because I was an aggressive reader as a kid, but sometimes, especially for an assignment, they're only reading X amount of chapters at a time, and they're not allowed to go past. So it's good that they have these explanations right here. Or you hear Malcolm going, well, I'm angry because of this. I'm talking about my emotions because of this. Or I'm confused because I saw this thing, and this thing is the opposite of the thing. Well, I just seen all this happening. How am I in 2015 and it's shaky like this? What happened these 100-something years? And he's kind of filling you in. So I think that is purposeful for the group is reaching. So it's not YA because people be trying to give YA books a bad name. I'm like, no. It's just they give us a little more clues. That's all right. It's different read level. That's read level. That's it.
no, that's true. I mean, and I think it's not, I'm a slow reader. Sometimes in particular, I struggle to read YA because sometimes I'm like, and maybe this is just, I'm like, oh, these character choices, the decisions of the characters are really bad. And I'm like, is it because this is a YA book or is it because it's these characters? So I need to sit with that, right? That's just some internal stuff I need to sit with. Yay. Anything else that y'all wanted to say about Black was the ink?
I like that there was pictures in it. I know this is a little childish. People like I don't care. I like graphic novels. I like pictures. All right. I do like long books. Okay. I like audio books. I like regular books. I like Kindle books. I like books. Just period. But people be like, oh, it got pictures in it. I love a picture in here. Okay. Sometimes it just gives the character something else or gives you what the author thought the character was like versus you reading a book and there are no pictures and you like they got curly hair and they wear a plaid skirt. I don't really know versus in the book I saw Malcolm, like he drew himself and I'm like, oh, that's him. Oh, okay. Or just the fact that you see his handwriting or you see how he draws. How people draw and how they write is a part of their personality. It tells who they are. So I'm like, you really get to know him through his drawings, especially because it's a character, like a big character point in the book and how he deals with stress and things like that. So I think that's really dope. I really like the pictures. I want more books to have pictures in them. I don't care. I do.
The illustrations were sprinkled like parsley, and I was definitely pleased. Like it helped shape my imagination of like, okay, like what does Malcolm look like, and also what do Malcolm's drawings look like? Like what exactly does he have going on? And I also like that it wasn't just random because sometimes random illustrations and pictures. I do like the pictures, especially with the things that were going along in tandem with the historical events. Like, oh, here's this thing. Let me put a picture to a name so you can kind of help create the scenario in your brain. But the same thing with Malcolm. And then I like how it comes all together in the end. And then we learn like what he was doing with his talent and how he's continuing to push himself and challenge himself to not just draw people he knows, but also highlight different, not just negative parts of the struggle, but the good part, just like telling everyone's story in addition to his family's story. So I really like that. Like that was a really good piece. I always love when people learn a lot about kinfolk they have never met before. It's always fun to meet a random cousin. And I felt like this was super timely because my family just had their old family reunion. We had like a virtual piece and like a social distancing in-person thing. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Thank goodness it did not end up like Malcolm's story, because I'd be pissed. Like, come on, I understand ancestor, but you got to leave me alone, baby. This is every day.
Not you pull up trying to draw a picture. You knocking me into the matrix, girl.
Oh, I'm here for it. But when you say pictures, it's not like a graphic novel. It's not like pictures and words throughout. It's just that they're just some pictures throughout the novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's perfect. It doesn't need to be like a whole. I love a graphic novel, but it didn't have to be a whole page. It was just a running thing that Jazz always laughs me about. I love, in addition to taking notes in the margin, I'm always making like small doodles with the notes, because it helps like me remember a story or what we watched. So when I see the pictures come out, I say, "Oh, this is my kind of this is my kind of time. We got some kind of stuff going on."
Sure, like it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yay! So usually what I say next is, "Oh my God, I'm gonna read it." But my to be read list, I think I've said this a lot on the live, gives me anxiety. Like, it literally, I'm just like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna read this." I was like, wait, this book is probably gonna take me the rest of my life. It's 500 pages, and I'm like, I want to read it, but I was like, oh. So just thinking about that kind of gives me enough stress. So like, the book after that is a lot. But I'm so happy y'all enjoyed it. I want to go back to the chat. So Tobarp, I don't feel like I'm pronouncing that right, says that they're not going to watch Nope because they don't do horror. They watched the trailer and it was too scary for them. And they're chicken for scary movies. That's what they said. I'm not calling them chicken. And I think somebody said that Black Was the Ink might be good for their nephew. And Chola says that they're ordering now. So Michelle can thank y'all for being influencers. So that's awesome. Also, Jazz, you said not being able to engage with a lot of books with young Black male protagonists. I can send you a list after this. If you want me to.
I do.
I
want that. I want that.
Okay.
I got 5 Audible credits right now.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I'll send you a list, and no pressure, but yeah. So cool. And they'll mostly all be like fantasy,
sci-fi, fantasy,
sci-fi, like all spec fic, all Black male. Yeah.
Right at my alley. Right at my alley.
Yeah, and you might be like, "Oh, I've heard of these," but yeah. Yeah. I'm like, is there something else? Backflow Clerk complete. What was your favorite episode? Girl, That's Scary. Do y'all have a favorite?
Oh, Jesus. Because I'm like, okay, there's so many fun episodes. I do bring up the episode, because I like episodes where we watch something that neither one of us have seen and we both kind of jump into it. And I'm about to bring up Masters of Horror. Masters of Horror is on Tubi. And it used to be a show on, I believe, Showtime or Star. I believe it was Showtime. Either Showtime or Stars. But Showtime. It came out it came out early aughts, like maybe 2009, 2010. And every week they had an episode that was an hour long, like a short kind of episode movie. It was a horror movie by different directors. So you got like Tobe Hooper. You have, I think, Wes Craven. You have like the Masters of Horror. That's what I was called that. And Mick Garris, all these people put this together. And there were 2 seasons, 13 episodes a season. So that was 26 hours of horror. And we did this episode with our friends, the Homies of Horror. They're another Black horror podcast. They're really good, really great. And we was like, yeah, we didn't know how long it was going to be. So it's like, yeah, you want to be on this episode? And they said, yeah. So then we logged into the call. It's like, sorry, guys, it was 26 hours. We just got, we just go watch this. And then not only was it 26 hours, it was raunchy, and there was boobs everywhere and blood, all this. I was like, oh my God, they're judging us for watching this, but we had the best time talking about it because it was so chaotic. And then because it's like an anthology situation, most of the stories are not connected. So there are all these different episodes that don't really connect to each other. But if you want to watch something very wild right now, it's on Tubi for free, Masters of Horror. Woo! I will say, be careful about Heckle's Tale, because you're gonna see something you don't really want to see.
What? Which one?
It's called Heckle's Tale. It's like episode 12 of season 1, and you gonna see some zombies doing stuff that you ain't think zombies were supposed to do. That's all I got to say about that. I do not recommend 1 out of 10. I won't say 0, but 1 out of 10 still don't recommend.
Okay. So if I watch Masters of Horror, which may happen, I will skip heckles about. Got it. Got it. What? Did y'all watch them?
Oh, I did.
Jazz did that so I wouldn't have to go through that.
I think I'm on Kat's team. I was like, I have enough to talk to my therapist about without a television show adding to it. So I've heard both, like, it's, trauma porn. I've heard, like, oh, it's really good. Like, what did you think, Jazz?
I'm gonna let you know right now. Okay, so I have like a whole 15-minute spiel about it on our page. So other people, if you want a longer spiel, you can go click on that.
Okay.
I watched it in like 48 hours, so it's like 10 episodes or something. And I kept watching because I was like, no, I need to get this over with so I can. Because even if things upset me, sometimes I watch them so I can have a full argument about why it upset me. I know that's a little petty, but I don't care. I watched that episode. Let me tell you, it was the cinematography, the acting, the dialogue was beautiful. Our costuming, beautiful. However, the story, the plot, nothing but black trauma. I got nothing out of that. Nothing but pain. Nothing but pain. I had to tell my therapist about it. Nothing but pain. Because I'm like, well, what else? What was the purpose of all this? Because the end does not wrap it up. There is no vindication, really. Like, so what was the purpose of this? To show black people suffer some more? Like, we not suffering in real life, girl. If y'all don't take this show somewhere. And of course, a lot of the directors or people who are directing different shows were not even black. So you sitting here directing this black trauma. I'm looking at you sideways. I'm looking at you sideways. Because why did you do this? Why did you do this? Why? But if you want to watch it, it's there on Amazon Prime. I'm not encouraging anyone who is of our complexion. If you look at your arm and it's brown, I don't recommend you watch that because it's going to hurt your feelings. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's hurtful. It was just, Did you see it? I don't want to get into spoilers, but everybody can get it. Children, babies, cats, dogs, everybody get it. The white supremacy is beating up everybody.
Okay. Well, you know what? From the bottom of my heart, I say thank you for saving me from that trauma because I would have really been in therapy talking about that. And my therapist would have been like, Isis, there's real life stuff you can talk about, but I'd be like, we have to talk about them first. So I appreciate you so much. What's a black horror show recent that y'all would recommend? Like everybody needs to go watch now.
Ooh, okay.
Oh wow.
Well, of course, Lovecraft Country. I know they didn't give us a season 2, but it's still worth the watch. It has its problems, but it's still pretty good. I loved Lovecraft Country. And the book I read, although, I thought the book was a black author, it was not. I was like, oh, okay, all right, well, the show. You can look at the show.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I appreciated Lovecraft Country. They did a lot of like landmark stuff, and I appreciated the storytelling. I was totally here for Letty, and her big sister.
I'm gonna keep my sister lifted.
What she decides to do when she's a white woman for a day. She's like, oh, I'm gonna get ice cream. And I was like, I hear you. I mean, we all need. I get that. The first kiss between. Now I want to say the actor's name, John Majors, and Letty was like a bit. Anyway, so yeah, it was exciting for them to have a Native American character, and then, so yeah, hopefully there's a lot of stuff that they can do in season 2 if it goes somewhere.
Yeah, because yeah, I don't know about that. What about you, Kathleen? Because I'm like, black shows, like, do we mean like where there's black leads or like black created? Because of course, horror-wise, outside of like horror noir, which they have like, it's not a show, but it's the movie with the anthology strung together. That's like black created and stuff like that. But I'm like, black shows that are horror. Are we talking horror or like black shows as a whole?
So black loosely defined, so either black protagonist and our black creator. So that would include Jordan Peele's The Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Horror also broadly defined, so it could be like something that's like, this is a scary movie, or like horror psychological thriller, like I think there was like a show, The Girl Before, which was a psychological thriller with like the actress from Fast Colors, and I don't know if you watched this, but this guy had like repetitive trauma syndrome or something like that. Um, had this apartment where he kept looking for people to rent it who looked a certain way, and then like anyway. So it's more of a psychological thriller than a horror. I watch, and if you can't tell, I watch a lot of television. I probably watch more TV than I read books.
It's all good. Black horror shows or like with a black protagonist. More so, okay, I think I can't speak for Jazz, but Jazz might be walking in the park with me. We've been really into like just shorts. Alter, Crypt TV, Bree Newsome has a really good short. There's some really good ones. If you just Google, like, unfortunately, you have to dig. Like, we had to reach out. We recently did an episode on like black horror shorts not too long ago, and we really had to like reach out to the internet streets to try to find some shorts that we, may have not been privy to. But I promise you, like, if you go on a search, you're gonna find some really, really good ones. So not necessarily a show, but watching something that's for about 15 to 20 minutes. They're not all themed the same. Like, you have anything from like just a regular like slasher. Like, we saw a real fun one that was like 10 minutes where these guys were in a park and it was kind of like this succubus kind of creature that was like trying to pull up on this guy.
Bye.
Yeah, so I was like, that was fun. And then like I said, there's another like a not necessarily like antebellum South, like not fully, but in that same kind of like a period piece, but it's not focused on anything dealing with slavery. Like, I forget what the title is called, but like this woman wants a partner, but then she bites off more. There you go. She bites off more than she can chew when she goes about it, and talking about root work and hoodoo and voodoo. And I'm like, oh, so just do the searches, do the things, because they're out there.
Yeah, and if you add us, I'm sure we can probably scrunch up some of them, because like Bree Newsome had one. That Wake was a good one. Skin Tight was a good one. Sierra Boniface, I believe, was the director of that one. Also, both of those black women who directed those shorts, really good.
Do y'all have a podcast episode where y'all? Okay, so I can look at your podcast and then see the episodes where you discuss black horror shorts, and then you'll have a list.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the episode notes. Okay, great. So like when I post this episode, I'm just posting it to Instagram. I can link to that episode, or I can put it in our link tree or something like that. Yeah, I'm excited. And then I can start watching them. Yeah, I'm here for it. Two Barb said, will I publish the list going back to like speculative fiction with black boy protagonists? Let's see what comes up with that listing. Maybe I'll publish it. Let me see if it's worth publishing before I say I'll publish it. So yeah. Yeah. Cool. I'm excited to watch these shorts. I have a subscription to Quality TV. So they have a couple of like they have actually several black speculative shorts. And so one of the ones one was about like, I think at the time I was looking for stuff about black witches, so they had a really cool one about like black witches. They had a couple of zombie ones, which made me so happy. I was like, as much as I fear zombie apocalypse, I cannot stop watching stuff about zombies. So yeah, they had a couple of zombie ones. Oh, and the one that they had about zombies, it was kind of like zombies and the Flint water issue. So what was turning people into zombies was the water. And then once they became zombies, they became addicted to the water.
Oh, yeah, I need to see that.
Okay,
it was really good. I was like, I'm here for this short. So yeah, so there was that one. I felt like there's some other really good shorts, like horror shorts that I watch on Quality TV. So, but yeah, I'm excited for y'all's list, because it's been a while since I've sat and watched some good indie shorts. I used to love doing that in Community, but like it takes like a special, and I'll ask y'all this, to me, I think it takes a special type of like movie viewer to watch indie short films, because you have to be more engaged with the story than necessarily like the finished production quality. Does that make sense?
Yes,
I'm
because
up
they're
with you.
usually because they usually don't have as much money a lot of times, or they might not have all the story put together because they could only afford 10 to 15 minutes of the movie. So you just gotta kind of walk with them. Just kind of walk with them, like, all
Right.
right. And I'll be nodding my head, but sometimes the shorts are better because the story is good as a quick punch versus people who take a shorter story and try to drag it out for a run of
Right.
a full runtime, and then the story loses its flavor or loses its spice. Sometimes movies are meant to be a short. That's it.
You're like, this story could have been told in 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, and I think I get so excited because, like, with shorts, they can delve into themes and topics that are much more niche because it doesn't have to appeal to like half the country, right? And I think that's also very exciting. And it makes you work more as a viewer because they can't hide behind a lot of CGI or like a lot of other stuff, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I find them being better because they have to rely on the story. And a lot of times when things rely on the story, they're better than everything else because you're hiding behind. We take the CGI, you take the big bill
Mm-hmm.
actors away, you take away all the fancy little effects and all the soundtrack that you pay for because everybody can't afford to put the rock songs on their track. We can't afford it, okay? So now all you have is just this story and these actors portraying this story. And a lot of times people forget if it's good enough, that's all you need. That's what I'm realizing when I go back to stories. Because Kat's a big like black and white, older movies like fan, and I'm late to the game, but I'm going back to watch movies from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and that all they had was story, girl, story dialogue. Some of them set pieces, you could tell that they'd have moved a set piece like a stage, but it doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
because the story is so good. You don't care that they are moving the fake ocean waves like like they're just moving them back and forth. You don't care it's a still picture in the background. You don't care because the story is what really hits. And I want people to just focus on having a good story. Everything else can kind of come. Even stories that are really good, they can be retold. We all have folk tales and stuff that are retold. It's the base story is the same. So the bones are good. You can put different meat on it.
I love that. Yeah, I agree with all of that. Kat, is there something you would add to that?
No, y'all have said all the things. I keep going exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. My thing is I'm always aggressively nodding on the side like, yes.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Ooh, what's next in the hopper for the two of y'all? So Girl That's Scary is dope. Like, Jazz, you're a teacher. Kat, you hanging out with executive directors. Like, what else are y'all doing?
So next week we will be in Long Beach for Midsummer Scream. I'm screaming internally. It'll be our first live podcast. Like 2 weeks ago, we just did BlurCon, and that was dope because that was our first in-person panel with Zero Gravity and Brother Ghoulish about the history of Black horror, and that was really fucking fun. It was just really a good time to be around like other blurs, other horror fans, so that was cool. So that's what's next. We just cranking out this stuff and getting to know all the people in the community and meeting new people every day, which is also fun. And just I feel like we just live triple lives, not even double lives. Like working in education by day, because actively, like right now, I'm running summer camp and getting ready to prepare for the new school year. So education by day, scary shit at night.
I'm absolutely here for all of it. Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
God, school is coming
Because
up real soon.
Jazz, you were gonna say something, and Jazz was like, "I'm here. I'm good." Okay. So, but y'all are gonna be in California. That's cool. I'm like, oh, Long Beach is so close, but I'm like, but it's not. I'm in Oakland, so that feels really far. So, um,
I don't know.
Pull up. It's
Listen,
Midsummer Scream. Is that like an hour, like 3 hours? Like I know traffic and the way California is set up.
it's like saying you're in DC and then somebody else saying they're in Miami, and you're like, oh yeah, that's close. Yeah, I had to tell East Coast people that because y'all like, oh, it's Cali, like it must be like it's. I'm like, it's a 6 hour drive. So yeah.
Oh, like a drive from
oh,
DC to North Carolina. Okay.
okay. So not quite because Miami is like 13.
You said
Oh
Miami's
yeah.
like
Okay.
14 hours away.
My
Like,
sense of direction is really bad. So.
I've
let me
done
tell
that drive.
y'all.
That drive is crazy. That's a long
Yeah.
drive.
I'm not good at geography anyway, so y'all could have told. I'd be like, okay, so they're in the same state, right? That's not cool. Then, just like Texas, they'd be like, I live in this city. When we coming to this? Girl, we are 8 hours
Right.
away. Leave
No.
us alone.
Right. So, but tell us what's Mad Screen. So I now have all the questions like how was BirdCon? Yeah, let's start there. How's BirdCon?
It was magical. It was cute and fun because it's not just black horror. It's all the nerds. So people who like comics. Orlando Jones was there, like as one of the main guests of honor, like talking to people and stuff like that. It was a good time. A lot of like people who voice anime characters, like black people who voice anime characters. I've seen the Black Ranger has often been at BlurCon before. Like all the black nerds, all the icons for the nerds are there, and you're surrounded by black people who love anime. They're dressed up as all the favorite characters, or they even bring out like the goths and the kink scene and everything. Everybody's outside, but it's not doing too much because it's still children and stuff outside. So they're having fun. It's like 24 hours. You don't worry about no fights and them. Everybody's just like, yep, I'm in here doing nerdy stuff, playing video games, playing D&D. Like they're just you just meeting up with all the people. Y'all meet up at places dressed up together. Like, oh, we got some Avengers. Anybody dressed up as a Captain America? We meeting in room such and such at 3:00. It's 45 people dressed as Captain America. Like, yeah. So that was really fun to see. Just seeing people who are like-minded, or you got your outfit on, they see you, because we had DX jerseys on, so all the Attitude Wrestling era fans were like, hey, yeah, DX! Like, yeah! You're childish. It was just a really good time. It was beautiful to see.
Oh, yay. I'm gonna have to try to go at some point in my life. So thank you. Okay. And you said Mad Scream? That doesn't sound right.
Midsummer Scream. It is our first time. It's like one of the like big horror cons. They have like endless haunted houses. They're gonna have all these people. I'm about to run through the booths like Tomb Raider as Megan Thee Stallion's playing in the background. I'm about to buy all the shirts. I'm about to buy all the Funko Pops. I'm about to be a brokey when I leave. I don't even care. My suitcase is gonna be overflowing with swag. I'm going to take everyone's pins and put them on my shirt. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here having a good time.
And put them in my shirt. They'll probably have shipping service, so you don't have to like pack them in your bag, so you can just ship them back home.
I hope so, because I've already decided to bring a big suitcase just for this. So here we go.
Just options. But yay! Midsummer Night Scream.
Midsummer
Scream.
I know Midsummer Night, because
okay.
we're thinking the book, like or the poem, like, oh yeah, I know.
Right. I'm like, Midsummer Scream. It only took 4 times, but I think I got it right this time. Yay! That sounds dope. Yay! Okay, let me check the time. Okay, great. So we have 8 minutes, which now we're at my second favorite part of the Wind Down Wednesday. My first favorite part was everything up to this moment. So, so this is the part is this or that. So the way it works is I present you 2 options, this or that, and you like rapid fire tell me which you prefer. If you're watching in the chat, feel free to answer what you thought is in the chat. There is no wrong answer, even if you disagree with what I would choose. Okay. Okay. Original Candyman Tony Todd or new Candyman yeah.
Tony Todsworth every day. Mr. Tony Todsworth. Daniel Robichaud story for the rest of my life. I know we got the new Daniel Robichaud forever. Yaya's beautiful.
I'm going with the old school too, although I do enjoy the new one. I gotta say, the old Tony Todd, nostalgia.
Okay. This is actually the first time me asking this question, because y'all are Black horror fans, so I thought of that question just for y'all. Man, I don't know. I'll go with y'all, Tony Todd, just because it's Tony Todd. Okay. So going to The Walking Dead, are we team Morgan Jones or Coleman Domingo, because I can't remember the character's name.
Okay, so hold on. What season is this? Because let me tell y'all something about Walking Dead. About season 6, I don't know what
It's
happened
towards
after
the
season
end.
6. Oh, girl,
This
I
is the
don't know
part you
what you're
haven't
talking
seen
about.
yet.
Who are these people?
This is like right after they get to like to the sanctuary place, girl. They get to DC. They already moved past DC. Okay, I didn't get this far, but I'm gonna always go with Coleman Domingo because I root for most people black.
Yeah, I'm going with K. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna just hopefully Coleman Domingo don't mess us
Also,
up
Coleman
because
Domingo.
I don't know what his personality is like on that show. He could be literally feeding us to the walkers. I don't know. We here.
Yes to all of that. Coleman does do some crazy things close to the end. I was like, I don't know what is going on with you. But I'm here for Coleman Domingo. What is I'm trying to think. I was like, are there any quick black horror things that I can do? But those are the ones that I got. Love to Be Creative said they stopped watching The Walking Dead, so they're like, I don't know who you're talking about. That's fine.
It was getting
I
wild.
watch
It was a lot of stuff happening.
Just like
it's yeah.
Supernatural. You gotta pull back out after like X amount of seasons. I'm like, look, y'all can wrap this up in a video. Oh, not when that happened. Oh, you know what? I watched past that point, but not that much further past that point.
But when they killed Glenn, I actually had to stop. I had to stop watching it for like a year. I was heartbroken because like there was an episode before that you're like, oh, he's okay, and then I was like, you know what? Yo, I couldn't. Yeah. So, I mean,
I was reading along, so I kind of knew like eventually it would get shit. They changed a lot of stuff for the show, but I was just we could talk about it another time. But I was just like, yeah, let's shake the table. Bleak endings excite me. I know that sounds scary, but because people always expect it to be like a happy ending, or because sometimes life is shit, so you really just need that happy ending. And I'm like, I'm walking with you, but I also like to be like maybe a pinky toe grounded in reality. And in reality, we're not always making it. And that's the real scary part because it's like, dang, we want them to make it. But it's not gonna work. So let's go. Dark times. Dark. Hot topic.
That's fair. Okay. So then next I'm gonna ask about black vampires. So Ganja and Hess or Blackula?
Oh damn.
Blackula. I'm going with Blackula. I got Blackula because I'm just have to close my eyes and say Blackula before I change my mind.
My question is, am I choosing one story or the other, or am I a vampire in either of these settings?
It's supposed to be rapid response,
I know, but
however you want to answer it.
Okay. Choosing one story over the other, I'm going with Blackula because it's always going to be Mama Waldy for me. One of the saddest stories. Like I go up for. It's just, oh my God, I be literally crying watching Blackula and Blackula scream dead ass. Like I be crying. But if I'm gonna go for like me being an actual vampire in the story, it's gonna have to be Ganja and Hess because Ganja, she know how to keep a bag, and I love to see it. I love everything about it. Mr. Hess is so fine. I'm just out here, just a rich vampire in my house in black.
Doing the thing. And I don't know if y'all watch or even like the Spike Lee's The Sweet Blood of Jesus, because like when he was crowdfunding for it, I'm gonna do a black vampire movie. I'm like, oh, he's obviously gonna do Blackula, and then he did a remake of what it seemed to me of Ganja and Hess.
Mm-hmm. It was like, I wasn't a fan. I'm sorry, because it just the tonal wise, it just was not what the movie was about, and I was like, it was almost scene for scene, but not the same depth or heaviness that the first one had. So and there was some interpretive dance at the beginning, and I was like, you know what, Spike Lee, I'm not gonna say nothing about you, but I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm gonna just watch Ganja and Hess and say
it. Interpretive dance.
That's fair. This isn't horror, but did y'all watch Charmed? The new season?
Yes. Not the new one, no. I haven't seen the new one yet.
I've never seen
Okay.
Charmed.
Okay, that's fine. So then I won't ask the next question. I'll actually do something different for y'all that I usually don't do. My last question will be open-ended. Who is your favorite Black witch?
Oh man. Oh God. I don't know. Cause I'm like, ooh, we think it's like, well, we going back to like Tituba. Tituba, how you say her name? That's how you say her name.
Uh,
Are we
yeah,
thinking
yeah, like
are
the
we
rich,
thinking
like one of the
are,
OG
are we going
Black
Crucible?
American. Yeah,
Are we doing like, you know what? I'm gonna go with Sis from the Craft. I am, because I remember her as a child. Yes.
yeah, of course.
I'm gonna go with yes. I'm gonna spin around and get a little bit of everybody because it's like witch with an asterisk because like when you really like we don't have all the time now, but when you really break it down, it's like okay, like when you talk about witchcraft and what that really looks like. So I'm gonna go with a little bit of yes because there are so many. I'm just yes.
I was like, yes, yes, I'm here for that. Because like that could be like last October, each day we did like a celebration of Black witches. So that was everybody from Lafayette to like all the Black witches in American Horror Story Coven, which was like Marie Laveau, who was played by like Angela Bassett and all that kind of stuff, to um, the Black Witch from the Craft, the first one. I didn't watch the second one.
You know,
It's okay.
it's for the young children. We'll say that. It's for the youngins. It's not for people 25 plus. I will say that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, wow, that is our time with a minute over. This is so much fun. Thank you so much. Y'all are awesome. Let me know whatever I can do to support y'all. Have fun at Midsummer Scream in Long Beach. I'll send you that list of books and I'll look for that podcast about Black horror shorts with the list and I'll drop it on this link.
Yes.
All
Thanks
right.
for
Thanks for
having
inviting
us.
us.
My pleasure. Bye.
Bye.